In the last centuries of the Roman Empire, some leaders of the barbarian peoples tested their own courage in brutal confrontations with the Romans and amongst themselves. In this video, we will look at the top 8 barbarian warriors. Born into a noble family of the Germanic Cherusci tribe around 18 BC, Arminius was taken from his home by the Romans as a boy and served in the Roman army. In 9 AD, Cherusci forces ambushed and massacred 3 Roman legions under the command of Varus, governor of the province of Germania. After a humiliating defeat, in which the defeated Varus fell on his own sword, the Romans withdrew and did not attempt further invasions again. Although Arminius was hailed as a nationalist hero during the unification of Germany in the late 19th century, his reputation was tarnished at the beginning of World War II, when modern Germans associated his historical feats with the nationalism of Adolf Hitler's Third Reich. Number 7. Boudicca. Like other Celtic women, Boudicca had greater freedom than many other women in the ancient world. She trained her fighting skills and use of weapons alongside the men of her tribe. In 60 AD, when her husband, King Prasutagus of the Iceni people, died without leaving any male heirs, the Romans took the opportunity to annex the kingdom, publicly flog Boudicca, and rape 2 of her daughters. As governor of the Roman province, Gaius Paulinus was absent from the region. Queen Boudicca led a rebellion with the Iceni people and other tribes, achieving victory over the Roman 9th Legion. According to the Roman historian Tacitus, Boudicca's forces massacred about 70,000 Romans. Number 6. Alaric the First. One of the most famous barbarian leaders, the Gothic king Alaric the First rose to power after the death of the Eastern Roman Emperor Theodosius II in 395 AD, destroying the fragile peace between Rome and the Goths. When the Western Emperor, Flavius Honorius, refused to provide land and supplies to Alaric's troops in 408, Gothic forces besieged Rome. In the summer of 410, a group of rebel slaves opened the Porta Salaria, and Alaric's troops were the first foreign enemy to enter the city in about 800 years. They sacked Rome for 3 days, but treated the city's inhabitants humanely. Alaric died soon after they left, during a subsequent expedition to Africa. His descendants, the Visigoths, migrated to the Iberian Peninsula and settled in present-day Spain. Number 5. Attila the Hun. Born into a royal family of Huns, nomadic people who lived in present-day Hungary, Attila rose to power alongside his brother, Boudicca, in 434 AD. A former ally of Rome against other barbarian groups, including Burgundians and Goths, Attila accepted large subsidies in gold in exchange for not attacking Roman territory. But he did it anyway. After killing Boudicca, he took full control of an empire that stretched across Central Europe. Several complicated episodes involving the Western Roman Emperor Valentinian III and his sister Honoria inspired Attila to invade Gaul, now France, in 450. Although a force of Romans and Visigoths blocked the invasion, Attila was undeterred. In 452, he invaded Italy. The Romans sent Pope Leo I as a peace emissary, and, although the details of the meeting are unknown, Attila withdrew his troops and returned to Hungary. In 453, he was found dead the morning after his wedding, apparently a victim of a fatal nosebleed. The motive may have been accidental alcohol poisoning, or an assassination plot, possibly involving his fiancée. Number 4. Geyseric. When the Vandal king Geyseric rose to power in 428, he led some 80,000 men to North Africa, where they established a kingdom that controlled the Mediterranean Sea for the next century. When Emperor Valentinian III was assassinated, voiding a treaty that promised his daughter Eudocia to Geyseric's son, the Vandals marched on Rome in 455. Seeing that their defenses were weak, the Romans again sent Pope Leo I to beg for mercy. Thanks to the Pope's diplomacy, the Vandals agreed not to burn Rome or massacre the inhabitants in exchange for entry into the city. Later, Geyseric returned victorious to North Africa, where he crushed 2 Roman attacks, in 461 and 468, and invaded the territories of the Eastern Empire from Alexandria, Egypt, to Anatolia. Number 3. Odoacer. Most scholars agree that Odoacer, Italy's first barbarian king, was the son of Attila the Hun, king of the Germanic Scuri tribe, and advisor to the dreaded leader Attila the Hun. In 476 AD, after serving as commander of the Roman army in Italy, Odoacer led a rebellion against Orestes, a Roman general who overthrew the Western Emperor Julius Nepos, and his teenage son, Romulus Augustulus, declared emperor. Odoacer's forces captured and executed Orestes and exiled Romulus. Although he officially recognized the sovereignty of the Byzantine emperor Zeno, Orestes refused to assign Julius Nepos as Western emperor, as Zeno wanted, instead declaring himself king. He was a tolerant ruler, allowing the practice of Roman Catholicism despite following the Arian Christian faith. Zenon's alliance with the Ostrogoth, Eastern Gothic leader Theodoric dictated the end of Odoacer's reign. When the Ostrogoths invaded Italy in 489, they captured almost the entire peninsula. Odoacer managed to hold out for some time in Ravenna, but after signing an agreement to rule the city jointly in 493, Theodoric murdered Odoacer, his family, and his followers. Number 2. Clovis. Clovis the First was the first ruler of the Merovingian dynasty, which would rule Gaul and Germany between 500 and 750 AD. He is considered the founder of France. The son of Childeric, a pagan king of a Germanic tribe known as the Salian Franks, Clovis assumed the throne in 481 when he was only 15 years old. After defeating the last Roman governor of Gaul in 486, Clovis established a kingdom of various Frankish peoples between the west bank of the Rhine and the Atlantic Ocean. Clovis converted to Catholicism, and his kingdom blended Roman and Germanic cultural traditions. Much of Clovis's reign was marked by a power struggle with the young Visigoth king Alaric II, but in 507, Clovis defeated and killed his rival. From Paris, Clovis attempted the expansion of his territory, but Theodoric, the powerful Ostrogoth ruler of Italy, stopped him. Clovis died around 511. His Merovingian descendants ruled for over 200 years. 18 future French kings would have had the name Louis, a Latinized version of Clovis. Number 1. Theodoric. As a child, Theodoric was sent to Constantinople as a hostage of the Eastern Roman Empire to secure the loyalty of his father, the Ostrogoth chieftain Theodemir, by signing a Roman Gothic treaty. Although he never learned to read or write, he adopted many aspects of Roman culture. In 488 AD, Theodoric invaded Italy, conquering virtually the entire peninsula, and also Sicily in 493, when he manipulated and killed his rival Odoacer. Peace reigned in Italy during Theodoric's more than 3 decades, 33 years in power. He issued decrees to ensure fair legal treatment for Goths and Romans, stressing that the two groups should live together amicably. Far from the brutal stereotype of a barbarian king, Theodoric wore the purple robes favored by Roman emperors. After his death in 526, he was remembered as Theodoric the Great, given his peaceful and just rule and the revitalization of Italy after the fall of the Roman Empire.